Hello. In the beginning, there was nothing, and then stuff happened. So what's up? Horrifying creations beyond our comprehension. So we've all been laughing at AI-generated voices making former presidents playing Minecraft together be funny, but scammers are using it to replicate the voices of your loved ones and trick you into thinking they're in an emergency. Phone scams have been a thing for a while, but now instead of a random voice you've never heard before from a country that's probably not the same country that you're in, you're gonna hear your family's voice, and they're gonna say that they're in distress and need your help. Oh look, the manifestation of all the people who were saying, hey, AI is gonna have a lot of ethical issues. Anyway, the best thing that you can do to prevent yourself from being scammed is simply never answer the phone anyway. The protests against Cop City in Atlanta have escalated, and 24 people have been charged with domestic terrorism. I talked about it a few weeks back, but to summarize real quick, cops are trying to build this giant cop training complex in a forest near Atlanta, and nobody wanted that to happen. The community does not want it and did not vote for it, and yet it's still happening because cops have a lot of money. And so there's been a lot of protests against this because they haven't been heard, so what else are they supposed to do? Anyway, more recently, the cops, whose claims should never be taken at face value, claim that there's been people setting fires, throwing Molotov cocktails, and hitting them with fireworks, and potentially causing bodily harm. Meanwhile, protesters and their supporting networks maintain that cops have been indiscriminately attacking anyone at the nearby music festival in protest of Cop City, taking their property, attacking them, and charging them with domestic terrorism for daring to stand up against the cops in doing something that nobody asked for. I cannot stress enough that the community does not want this. No one asked for it, they didn't get a vote on it, and they're not being heard. This is the only option they have, and cops are basically retaliating against people just trying to express their will. Twitter is an absolute disaster right now. So first off, Twitter went down again, like twice in 1 week, because of an API change that they made that just broke everything. Elon Musk maintains that it's because the Twitter code is just so brittle and broken, it needs to be totally rewritten. Anyone who has ever worked in technology knows that that's the first thing that a junior engineer says when they don't understand something. Anyway, there's reportedly one person left on staff who was able to fix it, and so they did. Good for them. But then your boy old Muskie decided to just amp up his campaign for biggest douchebag of the year. So there's this person named Holly who may or may not be still working at Twitter. We're unclear on that, but he's from Iceland and he's a well-known disability advocate. Anyway, Holly was a Twitter employee and suddenly didn't have access to any of their systems anymore. So they tweeted at Elon and were like, hey, it's okay if you fired me, I just want to know, because no one has told me if I've been fired. Elon proceeded to argue and try to publicly shame this person, including mocking their disability and claiming that they didn't do any work anyway. Elon then went on to try to justify his insults against his own employee by saying that the person was wealthy. This went on for several hours as people were like, hey, what the fuck? And Elon was like, I can't believe people aren't taking my side. Several hours pass, and suddenly Elon tweets with a very different tone saying, I apologize for what I said to the employee. We are talking it out privately. I wasn't working with complete information. Oh man, I hate it when I don't have complete information and insult disabled people. Anyway, presumably he had 700 lawyers yelling at him like, hey, stop! What time is it on the moon? The European Space Agency is like, okay, hey y'all, we're doing a lot of moon stuff. It's just lunar hell over here. We gotta actually work together and come up with a standard lunar time. Or at least find a better way to coordinate missions, because currently everyone's just kind of using their own time zone when referring to lunar missions. There are no formal plans here, but the ESA is like, hey, we just want to start the conversation. What time is it on the moon? Hey, remember when we were all mad about caging families at the border? Well, Biden is considering doing that again. As COVID-19 restrictions lift and more migrants are expected to come up into the country, the Biden administration is reconsidering the age-old American tradition of putting people in cages. Just detaining families, just, doing that thing where people who are seeking a better life get thrown into a jail cell. Instead of, I don't know, providing humanitarian aid and welcoming people into our country to bolster our economy with more workers during a time where we think that the population is going to start declining rapidly, we're just gonna put them into cages, because that's what heroes do. Rapid fire. The French are protesting super hard and plan to bring their country to a screeching halt until they stop trying to raise the age of retirement. The mayor of New York City says that people should take their masks off when entering stores so that security cameras can see their face. Cities Skylines 2 has been announced and it's coming out this year, and I am so excited for that. After multiple massive train derailments, specifically in Ohio, Norfolk Southern is finally being investigated by a federal safety board. TikTok is introducing paywalled content up to 20 minutes long so that creators can possibly make some kind of income off of this damn app. And Walgreens is limiting their access to abortion pills in states that are still legally able to have them, on their own volition. I legitimately want to apologize for the amount of bummer news today. I'm going to try my absolute darndest to find more happy stuff to talk about. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps. I'm also gonna be live on Twitch tonight and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So come say hi and follow me on Twitch. My name is Endeavorance. I'll be back on Friday. Take care and be well.